Hi, I'm just a regular American girl, remember me? Today I'm here to talk to you about something like it's buyer beware, okay? A few weeks ago, we had to change from DirecTV. It just wasn't working in our house, so we went to Spectrum, and that's where the nightmare began. Now, I'm not going to tell you about the whole nightmare because it's way too long and lasted way too many days. When we originally ordered, we ordered 2 DVRs and 3 HD boxes with remotes, of course, and of course the internet. So we had to go pick up the boxes. They told us we had to pick them up. They're way behind because of COVID and so on. So we went down. We only got the 2 DVRs in the tower for the internet. They told us they would send us the Apple boxes in the mail, which we did not order. We did not want Apple boxes. We want plain old HD, this kind of remote. Didn't get them. So instead, we got, let me just show you this remote, this little box, and I call this Pandora's box. There were 3 of these, and it said if you open it, you have to keep it, but why would I think I was sent the wrong thing and not what I wanted? But anyway, I opened one, thank God. And we tried it out, and we were having a hard time making it work, and my daughter is really a techie, believe me. I know techies really like this, but this is not good for handicapped people at all. My husband is legally blind. That's why we have a remote like this, because it has numbers on it, and the things are raised, so he can put his hand over it and find them. We gave him this. He couldn't use it at all. It's very sensitive, and you have to swipe it, and it's all touch. So what I'm saying is, I called him up. I said, look, I know I opened the box, but I want to send it back to you because we didn't ask for it at all. We never said send us the Apple boxes. See, a person who has Apple, we have an Android, would probably know what this box was. We never asked for it. We didn't want it. We wanted this simple HD with this kind of remote. Anyway, so I called up. I must have talked to 10 people. One gentleman said to me that he knew these were unfriendly, so when he tells people they're going to get them, he asks them if they're computer savvy and if they can do touch. So I thought that was pretty smart because he understood these were unfriendly. Another man I spoke to said he had a mentally handicapped person in his family, and that person by no means, no way could use this. These are all people from Spectrum. Then I talked to someone in billing, and she said that this box was one of their biggest complaints with this little remote. Because I'm assuming that other people who are blind, like my husband, legally blind, I assume that people who have missing limbs, people who are mentally impaired, people who are impaired by missing limbs, and also probably just people with Parkinson's and older people with tremors, and people who are can't learn well, learning impaired, that's what I want to say. So I'm assuming this is very difficult for them, and some people at Spectrum said it was, but they couldn't help me because if you open it, you own it. Now, all I'm wondering is why a company like Spectrum lets a company like Apple unload these boxes on unsuspecting consumers. Because if they didn't know that there were a lot of complaints against them, they wouldn't have a no return policy. They have a I said, why don't you just have a no return policy for people who are handicapped who can't use them, and they won't know it unless they open it. You won't know it unless you open it. Anyway, so they said no, everybody had to pay, so now I have to pay $180 and I have to keep this, which I can't use. I've talked to other people at Spectrum. They own them, they say they're great, but they really understand the problem, that this is handicapped unfriendly. So that's all I want to say, buyer beware. If you call Spectrum and they tell you you're getting an Apple receiver and this remote, and you're actually looking for this because you can't do this, and believe my daughter is a real techie. She can use it, but she didn't like it either. But my husband can't go from room to room and try and even turn on a TV or find a channel. Finding a channel for somebody who's impaired is disastrous. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Pandora's box. Buyer beware. If you're a real techie, you probably will love it. But if you are handicapped yourself or you have handicapped people in your family, please be careful of this because it's really not friendly for them. Thank you very much for listening.